Hello, hello. Think we're good? Hi, I'm Virginia. Welcome to Virginia Bakes. Today we are going to make a recipe I got out of here. This is the 2018 quick bread edition of the Bake from Scratch. I have used this a lot. My 2 buttery biscuits is adapted from their biscuit recipe in here. It's fantastic. You can see all of the notes I've made on the page over the years. There's some other really great ones in here, but I thought I would try this one. It's one I haven't done before, the Sweet Potato-Sage Scones with Vanilla Bean Maple Glaze. Like I said, I have adjusted it a smidge, not much, but credit goes to them. I should add that to the description just for future reference. Yeah, look at these. They're beautiful, right? Let's see if we can make them as pretty. Something just occurred to me. Well, we'll talk about it. No, we'll talk about it now. Okay. So I knew the recipe was in here, but I went to their website to get it so I could just copy and paste it and put it in, assuming it was the same. And it is the same, except for the fact that on their website, it says 1 large sweet potato and it doesn't have the weight. And then lo and behold, if you look in the magazine, I don't know if you can see that. It's not going to focus on it. It says 1 large sweet potato, 500 grams. Well, the large sweet potato thing, I'm like, well, how heavy is a large sweet potato? How many grams of mashed sweet potato is that going to end up being? Like, that's going to make a huge difference in the final product, right? Like how much that provides some liquid and some other elements you would need for the final. Dang it, I wish I had looked at the book or the magazine. So what I did was Google, like the weight of sweet potato categories, like small, medium, large. And it said large was like up to 360. Well, this is saying 500 grams and not 360. And if it was up to 360, I ended up doing 275, which is almost half of what this is calling for. So I need to get another sweet potato going, because I went ahead and got one done and mashed. So what is the fastest way I can do that? Probably the microwave. Okay, that's what we're gonna do first. Sorry, it's a bummer that I didn't catch it in time, but it's good that we've caught it. Because we are not too late to fix it. So let's get to work on that. Here is, let's just see. So this sweet potato, which seems large to me, is, let's see how much it weighs. 275. So what kind of sweet potatoes were they working with? Like, the one I got prepared was about this size, and it was like 250 grams once I peeled it and kind of diced it up. But well, I'm gonna real quick just clean this. I'm gonna do it differently than I did the first one. I'm gonna clean it really quick and stick it in the poke holes in it and stick it in the microwave. So just give me a moment. So sorry. So embarrassing. Well, if this is the only problem we have with this recipe, then that's fine. I'm okay with that. Okay, there's clean. Take a fork, go like stabby stabby on it. Don't stab my hand. This is a little nerve-wracking. Okay, I thought you were gonna see. I keep my microwave in my pantry because I don't want to see it, and then there's no power in there, so I have to do this. This is what I do. I plug it in every time I need it. I don't use it but a couple times a day. It's not that big a deal. Let's see. We'll start with 3 minutes and then maybe rotate it or something. Okay, so back to the rest of it. Let's get going here. So we're going to first stir our dry ingredients, weigh out and stir our dry ingredients together. I think, is this strong enough? We're gonna, let's see if this scale is strong enough to handle the weight of this larger bowl. So we need 240 grams of all-purpose flour. So far, so good. It's not giving me an error. Come on. There we go. Okay. 50 grams of sugar. How are y'all today? Let's see. Grams of sugar, a tablespoon of baking powder. I had so much fun last weekend making that giant cookie with my cousins. Such a nice time. 1 tablespoon baking powder. And I'm currently all alone, but my sister Heather is on her way to come hang out with me for the rest of the stream. And then we are going to go for a walk because it's lovely Florida fall weather, which means it is 73 degrees outside. And we are so excited. It did get down into the 50s last night, and that was really lovely. Okay. A half a teaspoon kosher salt. I need to learn my differences between the salt because sometimes it calls for, things call for sea salt, sometimes for kosher salt, and are those a straight one-for-one swap? I don't know. I don't think so. I think there's a slight difference. Ground cinnamon, a teaspoon of ground cinnamon, okay? The microwave's still going. Oh, if you are baking along with me, go ahead and get your oven preheated to 425. This is a teaspoon of ground cinnamon. And then a half a teaspoon of grated fresh nutmeg, or you could use a 1/4 teaspoon of ground nutmeg. There goes that, the microwave, hold on. Let's, this is a nuisance. Okay, so you can use, you know, already ground nutmeg, such as like this guy. But I had a friend give me one time this little doodad, and this, look at this. It stores a little bit of nutmeg in top. It's got a little hook. You could put it, I guess if you were a nutmeg fiend, you could hang it somewhere in your kitchen and have access to fresh nutmeg at all times. And then you take your little nutmeg out and you grate it and it comes out the bottom. Look at that. All right, we need, what I say, a half teaspoon. This might take a little while. It's okay. We gotta wait for that sweet potato to bake. Anyways, okay, so let me just say, I am slightly concerned about the sage in this recipe. That's lovely. Like it's meant to be a sweet scone. Oh, there's Heather. It's meant to be a sweet scone, Heather, but it's got sage in it. Okay. What are your thoughts about that? That's the only thing I'm nervous about with this recipe.
No,
The sweet, it'll be different. Like I will say, I tried another. What was it? It was like a rosemary thyme. I'll pull it out. It had thyme in it, and it was meant to be a sweet scone. I did not care for it. I made it the one time. I never made it again. I didn't really like that. Look at this thing. It's specifically for nutmeg.
Nice.
How cute is that? My friend gave it to me. I'm eyeballing the half teaspoon of Dang it. I got overly excited. Drop my nutmeg in there. Heather, I was telling everybody it's fall weather. Heather's got her long sleeve thermal shirt on. It is warm at 73. I don't know if that's windows open. Yeah, I can't do my windows open here unless it's like in the 50s outside. It's like this place is so well insulated. It just, even when the windows open, it does not get in. I don't know why. Okay, and then we need the controversial sage. Oh, that nutmeg just smells so good. The sage, so let's get that ready. Heather, the other thing you missed is I prepared a large sweet potato that I had Googled how much does a sweet potato weigh, okay? A large sweet potato is supposed to be like 180 to, okay, that's good. 180 to maybe 360 grams. And then I was like frustrated because I didn't know, I like to know exactly how much weight to put into recipes, right?
Yes.
I'm like, well, how much is a large sweet potato? So I Googled it, I did 275 grams. Then I had copied this recipe from the Bake From Scratch website, so I just copy and paste it. I made some adjustments, and then I just at the beginning of the stream mentioned that I originally saw it in this book, and so then I was looking at the recipe in here and it had the grams, 500 grams of sweet potato. So
you have too much.
I don't have enough. I have almost half, or a little more than half. So I just had to do another sweet potato. So let me, I just did it, yeah. So now I need to kind of, it needs to cool. We don't want to put it in the, we don't want to mix that in with our cold butter. This is a recipe like biscuits where you want the ingredients to be as cold as possible. So we want a 1/4 cup of, I do love the smell of sage. I just don't know about, but about it being like a flavor in a sweet something, that's what I'm nervous about. But we're gonna do it, see what happens.
Sounds very fall.
It does sound very fall. I was also, sometime before Thanksgiving, Heather, I was gonna do those little breakfast biscuit things that I make some years for us to munch on for breakfast that have the crumbled sausage and the shredded cheese in the biscuit itself. And because those are good for Thanksgiving morning. You can make them ahead of time, put them in the freezer, and then bake them Thanksgiving morning. And then you can just munch on them, because people don't really think about breakfast on Thanksgiving. They're worried about the big dinner, big meal, and then go hungry all day and get grumps. I know. I already have a video on that one.
Okay.
Heather, she mentioned that her favorite are the bacon, cheddar, green onion scones, which I have a video on from last year. So those are there. That's also an option. So I'm not gonna, didn't want to do another video about the same recipe, but it's there, Heather. Don't worry. I know you do. Heather recommends those. Should I get a 1/4 cup out? That looks like a 1/4 cup. I'm good with this. Okay, let me get this out of the way. Just a little bit of that. You know what? Let's do this. Actually, let's bring this potato over and kind of get it out of the skin. Get it cooling and mashed, or try. And then for the, well, you'll see it's kind of on the side of the screen there. Since I was able to weigh the ingredients in the big bowl, I don't need that anymore. Okay. I have this set up for cooking on stream. I don't know, it's pretty large. We'll see how it works. But I do have rather limited counter space over here. So it's just kind of slightly dangling over the edge. Let me not hit it. Don't hit it. Heather's gonna remind me. Heather, also remind me, I have a little sign up here under my camera that says thumbnail image. So last week we had my big, there's always something that I get wrong, and that's fine. Nobody's perfect. Is that last week, the whole thing with the not being able to find the Halloween M&Ms, right? The orange and black M&Ms, I couldn't get them anywhere. That guy gave me a stern talking to about preparing ahead of time. And like doing your Halloween Halloween candy shopping in August, apparently. And so I might have eaten those Christmas M&Ms already. Just saying that. Anyways, so when I had used an image of, for the thumbnail, I had used an image of orange and black M&Ms, and then it was no longer applicable. And after the stream, I'm like, oh, I should have taken a picture of the cookie before I cut into it, right? So I ended up doing like a screen grab of the moment where I kind of like showed it to the camera. Yeah. And that worked really well. So I'm going to start doing that, and then just kind of just trying to avoid having to make the recipe 3 times. Once earlier in the week to take a picture and make a thumbnail, once the day before so I have a final version of it, and then the day, it's just too much of the same thing. And so I'll just do like an easy, like what I did this week, hopefully it works out, is just a text on screen of what I'm making, and then during the stream I'll have a little sign here to get a thumbnail image of these scones, and then I'll replace that in the permanent, have a permanent thumbnail. Okay. All right, so we just want this to get cooled down a bit. I mean, we're not ready to put it in anyways. But, okay, I'm glad we did that instead of like forging ahead with 275 grams. So I'll add the 500 grams to the description for anyone watching in the future and maybe baking along. I have not eaten today. I do have some food if we want to eat before or after our walk. I can feed you. Or we could walk to Black and Brew or something. All right, I'm going to stir this up. Let's get back to it. All right, so I'm going to mix my dry ingredients together. And take a smell. That does smell really nice, actually. All right, then I'm going to get my cubed butter that I've been keeping cold in the fridge. I'm going to get that out, add it into my dry ingredients. Set that aside. I'm running out of space. And then use my pastry cutter to cut this butter, and we're looking for pea-sized pieces. Kind of same thing as when you're making biscuits or pie dough. You can do this. This is the part that I had kind of adapted from their recipe, is they did this in a I've drawn a complete blank. Food processor. And I think this is just as okay and a little less work than to have to get the food processor out and then clean all the parts later, you know. Sure, but you don't do that part. You just do the cutting in the butter into the flour with the food processor. Then you add the heavy cream and the sweet potato after. I mean, with pie crust, you do add the water, but that's not sweet potato. You're worried about the sweet potato getting gummy and then, yeah. Okay, it smells really good. That fresh nutmeg. Ooh. What else could I be putting nutmeg on? Just like on a daily basis where I've just got this at the ready. Let's go. Nutmeg time. Coffee?
Drop it in coffee or tea.
What if you put it in like the coffee grinds?
Yeah.
And then let the water run through that? Then you don't have chunks of nutmeg in your coffee, but you have the flavor. That might be nice. Oh, hi. Contained Rage, doing a great job. Thank you. Message from my music YouTube. I don't know what that means, Corvus. I'm labeling wine bottles right now, but I will be attempting this tomorrow. Yay, Emily. Yeah, Emily, my niece asked me yesterday if she can't eat dairy, and so what could she replace the heavy cream with? Because she's got stuff she uses when she needs to replace butter. But for the heavy cream, I have made vegan scones before for a vegan friend, and I used, it was a cream tea scone from King Arthur flour, and the only dairy, there's no egg, the only dairy in it was heavy cream, and I substituted it with like a can of coconut milk, and it worked perfectly. So that's what Emily's gonna do tomorrow. All right, so the butter is cut in. What are your ingredients? Yes, please. Contained Rage is my music YouTube. This is my oh, okay. So Contained. Corvus is watching from 2. Thanks, Corvus. I appreciate the extra view, the lurk from your Contained Rage music channel. All right, let's see here. Now we can stir in the mashed potatoes and 170 grams of heavy cream. So let me get the heavy cream ready. You know, I can just go directly into the bowl because it can handle it. I wonder what the limit of this scale is. All right, heavy cream, 170 grams. Okay. And then scale back out of the way. So their recipe was 500 grams of sweet potato, and then they tell you to cook it. So after you've peeled it and stuff, I'm guessing, you know, and probably some of the liquid cooks out, steams out or something, so it's probably not 500 grams at that point. So I'm just gonna see how much I've got here. Nowhere near 500 grams. That was 2 big sweet potatoes and it's like 300. I don't understand. But we're gonna say, I'll put in the recipe 500 uncooked, 300 cooked, and then we'll have like a starting point, and we'll know once they're done and we've tried them if they're too dry or too wet, and can talk about adjusting from there, right? Okay. Go away. So now we're just gonna stir this together as little as possible. I have switched, Heather, you can let me know if this is working well, and Corvus, Emily, if you're watching. I've switched the cameras from autofocus to just the focus it is, so it's basically focused here and it won't move, and I think it's working well, but I won't be able to do like this. It's definitely not gonna focus on the camera, but I think that's okay, yeah? Okay. I have never baked with, I've baked like, there's rolls recipes like dinner roll recipes and bread recipes that require mashed potato or like potato flakes or something. I've never used sweet potato. It feels very Play-Doh-like. I think we're okay. Okay, now we're going to turn this out onto a baking sheet lined with some parchment paper. Hold on, there's some good stuff at the bottom. And there's all kinds of ways that you can shape scones. My favorite method is what we're going to do here, which is you shape it into a disc. And if somebody could just get me more counter space, that would be great. So we're going to shape this into a disc. And then they suggest using an 8-inch cake pan, like line it and grease it and all that stuff, and use an 8-inch cake pan to form an 8-inch disc. And then you turn it out onto your baking sheet, and might as well. This is just as easy and less mess, honestly. I kind of want to chill these for a little bit. Thinking, okay, I did not make these ahead of time. So this is like first time ever on camera, so I don't have this. We're going to wait while these bake because they only bake 12 to 14 minutes, but I feel like we should chill them because I'm worried about this butter being too soft. Okay, so now we're just going to cut this into wedges. It is very moist. It is a very wet dough. I am slightly concerned. Definitely going to chill these because I feel like, yeah, I'm going to stick this in the refrigerator. No, I'm going to stick it in the freezer. Hold on. Because my concern is that if we put it in room temperature like this, it's so soft that it's just going to go and make a big puddle. And chilling them will harden up that butter again and help it keep its shape for longer in the oven and form a crust around the outside. So now can I get it in here? I have too much stuff. All right, we're gonna leave that in there for a few minutes. I guess we could get started on the, I do need the scale. Okay. For the glaze, let me just switch my recipe real quick. Vanilla Bean Maple Glaze. We need a half a cup of maple syrup. Well, let's just run the numbers here. 2 tablespoons is 30 milliliters, 30 grams for 2 tablespoons. There are, according to my handy dandy conversion magnet, there are, in what I say, half a cup of maple syrup.
It's just a way wet ingredient.
You can, yeah. Heather's asking if you're supposed to weigh wet ingredients, and you can, yes. So in a half a cup is 8 tablespoons, and if 2 tablespoons is 30, we need 4 30s, which is 120, correct?
This is why I don't bake, because I don't.
Heather said this is why she doesn't bake. So we need 130 grams of maple syrup.
I don't want to do quick maths.
So here we go. 120 grams. 30 times 4 is 120. Okay. Okay. All right, I'm going to set that over here for a moment. Let me pull this away from the edge. And then vanilla bean. So we're we're taking a whole vanilla bean, we're going to split it lengthwise and scrape out the seeds, add those, and add the bean to the pot. This is very... I actually have never done this before. I've seen it done so many times, but I've never bothered working with a fresh bean, fresh vanilla bean like this.
You just get those at the grocery?
Yes. These I got at a Trader Joe's yesterday. They had 2 in a pack for $3. And you can just scrape out the beans. Yeah, but like usually most grocery stores in the spice section, like I think McCormick has a jar of vanilla beans. It's usually like 1 or 2 beans per thing, and they are not cheap. Okay, I feel like I could be getting the beans out in a better...
What's the advantage to doing it this way versus the extract?
I don't know. Google it. Heather would like to know what the advantage of doing it this way versus an extract is, and I think the extract, I think this will be more, I'm going to say it's going to be more flavorful, and what was my other thought? Like extracts, I think that you can cook them off like they're like an alcohol. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I'm making stuff up. Heather's Googling it.
Fresh vanilla beans provide a more complex, intense flavor and add a visual speckling.
Okay, so according to the interwebs, fresh vanilla beans add a more complex, intense flavor, and then you get the visual pleasure of the specks of vanilla beans. So there you go.
It says it's ideal for custards or ice cream where vanilla is the star. Extract is more convenient and is less expensive and better suited for baked goods where flavor is a part of the larger mix of ingredients and can withstand the heat of baking.
So, okay, so it's saying vanilla beans in this manner wouldn't withstand the heat of baking. Okay.
Not as good as extract.
So extracts withstand the heat of baking better than the fresh, which is why we mostly use extracts. Unless you want the speckles, you probably are, I would imagine, baking recipes that require some vanilla beans for the speckles. Probably also call for some vanilla extract to make sure you don't lose the flavor. But it's meant for things where vanilla is the star of the show. So like custards, ice cream, things like that. I've seen plenty of like vanilla, and like obviously here we're about to have vanilla bean glaze, but like frostings with vanilla beans. The extract is more convenient when you're baking, and the flavor in the extract withstands the baking process better, is what they're saying. Okay, now we know. Now we know. All right. Okay, in a small saucepan, combine the maple syrup, which we've done with the vanilla bean and its seeds. Warm over low heat until it's fragrant, but don't let it boil. Remove from heat and let it cool for a few minutes. Strain through a fine mesh sieve. Okay, let me check on the... Nope, still very mushy. Oh, I'm so nervous now about those scones. I think they're too wet. I'm worried that they're too wet and that they're just gonna go. All right, we'll see. All right, now how do I use this thing? Power on, please. I know it's plugged in. Oh, that would help if I turned that thing on. Okay. Low heat. induction cooktop. Okay, but like, let's go. Oh, there we go. Heating. All right, if 10 is the highest, then we want low heat. I'm gonna go 2.5. You hear that noise? Oh, I'm wondering if people are hearing it through the mic. Hey Kendra, can stones that got soggy bottoms? Yes. Yeah, probably. They'd have to be very undercooked. The whole thing would be a mush. I think they're less likely to get a soggy bottom than a pie. I could put them on the pizza stone in there, but if they do end up spreading like crazy, like I'm kind of concerned about, then that would go over the edge of the pizza stone into the oven. I'm not gonna, don't want to risk it. Kendra, how was, did y'all go trick-or-treating last night? This is going to be, well, we're going to add powdered sugar to it after it's cooled down and we strain it. I don't know why we're straining. Because I feel like that's going to get the, yes, she got so much candy. Oh, good. What? And she went as Ghostface, right? Honora, we were talking last week about her Halloween costume. It was going to be something scary. I never get trick-or-treaters here. I mean, I tried the first couple years. I'd leave the lights on and I'd have candy on standby and nobody came upstairs. So now I don't even bother. Did you get any trick-or-treaters? No. None at your neighborhood? All right, we don't want to let it boil. I'm gonna watch, I don't even want to let it simmer. As soon as I see even the glimmer of a simmer. Anyways, the recipe says to strain it through a fine mesh sieve, discarding any solids. But I feel like that gets rid of our speckles. I'm gonna look at the picture. If they have speckles in their glaze, then I'm not gonna strain it. So it just seems like counterproductive in terms of the beauty. It smells vanilla-y. It is very fragrant. It's starting to smell nice. Okay, done. I see some little bubbles forming around me. I want this off. Let's do that. And then we'll do this. And then I want to get, I'm going to take a moment to get this out of the way. Hold on. It does smell good. Wait till the scones go in the oven. What are we going to talk about for 12 minutes while the scones are baking? Heather, come up with some topics. Google most.
What's the difference between a scone and a biscuit?
Oh. The difference between a scone and an American style biscuit.
They seem very similar.
Sweetness level, I think. I mean, they're basically the same thing. Okay. Google it. We're gonna have a learning set. I would think it has to do with the sweetness, and I would say like flavor profile, but I see plenty of people making flavored biscuits. Biscuits don't have to be plain, and scones can be plain. like just a sweet scone, but I think the standard like British scone has
Okay, scones are typically denser and sweeter due to the addition of eggs and sugar, while American biscuits are fluffier and more savory, often relying on buttermilk and having no sugar.
okay, so kind of was on the right track. Biscuits are fluffier, less dense, and less sweet. Typically savory with no sugar, although my 2 buttery biscuits do have a smidge of sugar. And then scones are denser,
More likely to have additions.
more likely to have additions, things inside like orange blossom honeycomb scones
They're more crumbly, sweeter.
or lemon streusel scones. They're crumblier.
They often include eggs and sugar.
They often include eggs and sugar, that's true.
And then the liquid is usually cream or whole milk versus buttermilk is often used for biscuits.
I see vanilla. You probably won't be able to see it on here. Let's do this. No, that's not gonna help. I do see vanilla bean speckles in their glaze, so I'm gonna leave those in. We're gonna let that cool. We should probably put it in another bowl. All right, let me check on the scones. At some point, I'm just gonna have to stick them in the oven. We're just gonna do it. But normally I would kind of spread these out a bit and give a little bit of space between. Well, they are kind of solidified a little bit here, so we can. Okay. The space will allow the edges to form like a crust to some extent, and then they'll start spreading. But they should, because the hot air is getting in between spaces. But they will probably spread to some extent. They're definitely less mushy because the butter, I can tell, has kind of hardened up in here, especially on the bottom that's touching the really cold pan. So, and then the edges that were out towards, the cold air. The center is still a little mushy, but I'm good with this. We're gonna stick them in the oven now and see what happens. So that's it, 8 scones. Into the oven and cross our fingers. Oh no, we're supposed to do a wash. Sorry, we need an egg and a little bit of heavy cream, and we'll do a wash on top real quick. Hold on, I can't hear you. Say that again?
Scones seem like a very forgiving kind of bake.
They are very easy. Yes, they are very easy, very forgiving. I mean, you see, we didn't even use a mixer of any kind. You can do them by hand. Like a cream tea scone is like a great starting point. The King Arthur cream tea scone. It's just your dry ingredients and then some heavy cream, and that's it. Yeah, not even an egg, no butter. All right, also to this, we're supposed to add like a tablespoon of heavy cream. I'm just gonna eyeball that.
So typically scones are aren't they eaten with jams and?
Typically scones are eaten with jams, like clotted cream. Have you ever had clotted cream?
Yeah.
I made some once.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not the official clotted cream because you have to have cream from a certain region of England. I think the Cotswolds, maybe? I don't know. And it's not, I don't think you're technically allowed to make it for like food safety reasons. Like the way it's traditionally made is not a food safe process.
Okay.
Because if I remember, how did it go? It was something like, we're glazing these so that they're nice and pretty. I mean, we're gonna have doing a wash, an egg wash, sorry. So they're pretty and shiny when they come out. At this point, if you didn't want to do the glaze, you could sprinkle some, you know, sugar crystals on top. Some brown sugar would be nice, and then you have like this crusty, sugary topping when they come out, and that would be really good. But of course, we're doing our Maple Vanilla Bean Glaze. So I won't sprinkle any sugars on here. Okay, so back to clotted cream. It was something like I had to bake in like a Dutch oven, heavy cream. I think it was just heavy cream at like a real low temperature for like 24 hours at like 200 degrees or something like that, like a really low temperature for a very long time. And then there's like another set, like it takes like 2 days maybe to make it, or something really elaborate. And
But it keeps a long time.
it keeps a long time in the fridge. I think I should do it again. It was really good. I can't, where did I first have clotted cream?
When you went to one that tea party class thing or something?
How do you remember that? I don't remember. Yeah, I think you're right. So I think I've mentioned this before. Years ago when I went, oh, Kendra, scones are just highfalutin biscuits. Yes, Kendra says scones are highfalutin biscuits. They're posh biscuits. Ghostface plus Grim Reaper, nice. Did she scare all the kids? A few years ago I went to London for vacation, and I signed up for a baking class, an afternoon tea baking class in this woman's home. And she had clotted cream. And that's where I first tried it. I was like, what is this stuff? It's just like a giant milk schmear.
Yeah.
And somehow, some way, it was so good. Like the texture, something about the texture. And I don't know, it was like marshmallow, but not,
I feel like it has a bit of cheese.
it's like marshmallow cream, but not, it's somewhere in like the marshmallow cream zone.
Yeah.
And it just made the whole scone. Yeah, it's like a pudding. It's like a, it's thick. It's got strength. And oh, we didn't time the biscuits. Oh my Lord, the scones.
They've probably been in there about
2 or 3 minutes. It says,
say 2 minutes, yeah.
okay, I did 10 minutes, and we'll check them then. It said, what did it say? 12 to 15 minutes, so that's fine. And yeah, so I had clotted cream.
What's the color of that?
Oh, the color of it? It's like a, can you see? It's like a tea color with all the speckles of the vanilla beans. It smells great. To this, we are going to add, I put that, no, it's here. Okay, good. 120 grams of powdered sugar. So clotted cream was really lovely on a scone. If you ever have a chance, please give it a try. I know it seems weird, maybe as an American it would seem weird, but it was so good. And I did make a home recipe version of it. And I didn't get sick or anything, but you know, to each their own. If you give it a try, let me know what you think. I really loved it, but it was a bit of a process. Not a process, but like time consuming to have the oven on for 24 hours. Scone. Okay, so we're just going to whisk this together until it's smooth. The thing I like about biscuits and scones, like with bread, you're supposed to wait for it to cool before you can slice into it, otherwise it'll go gummy on the inside. You don't have to worry about that with biscuits and scones. Oh my gosh, this smells really good. Look how pretty that is. Can you see the, let me try. You can see the little speckles of the vanilla bean in there. I'm happy with that. All right, now for the awkward part of what are we going to talk about for 8 more minutes, Heather? What other scone questions do we have? Or baking questions? You're just hungry. I'm hungry too. Don't let me forget my little thumbnail image that I gotta take. I guess I could do a little bit of cleaning up. That's exciting for the viewers, right? Heather, I understand that the cheddar, bacon, green onions scones are your favorites.
Yes.
Just setting that aside. Let's say you've had 3 of them and you are now satisfied. Your craving for bacon, cheddar, green onion scones has been satiated. What sweet scone are you going for? Oh man. If you had to, if I was like, Heather, I'm never baking again unless you eat this sweet scone I've made, and you had to pretend to like it, what scone will I have made you?
Maybe like blueberry with a lemon glaze.
Blueberry scones with a lemon glaze. Yeah, that's a good one. I wish we could get those teeny tiny, like the main wild blueberries. You know, the little tiny ones, because we've got the big fat blueberries here, and so you put those in a biscuit or in a muffin or whatever. It's like giant chunks, and the biscuit, the muffin will fall apart because there's just so many pockets of wet berry in there instead of the tiny. Wish we could get those tiny ones.
Well, you could do lemon scones with a blueberry glaze.
Lemon scones with a blueberry glaze. Just mix it up, go the other way. That's smart. You're so smart.
Thanks.
Good idea. Maybe we'll do those in the spring. We could go blueberry.
Hope made for us when we went blueberry picking, or some Thanksgiving or something, but she made a big pan in a big cast iron of biscuits, blueberry biscuits. With
Blueberry biscuits in a big cast iron
Yeah,
pan.
and I think they had a lemon glaze.
Hope. Maybe what we could do is have Hope come for a visit and she can help me make them for
Awesome.
for the people at home. I really want to just taste the glaze, but I will be patient. I have my little plate here. I did have, I'm going to do this sort of a little setup to drizzle the glaze on top of the scones when they're done, and it will catch the glaze and not make a mess. Well, it smells good. Okay, they're not going all over the place. We're good. We're safe.
Okay.
So I'm pleased. They did fill in the gaps between themselves, so we might need to.
Push up.
From now at this point, they should push up and have a rise from all of the butter chunks turning into steam and making little pockets. That's the idea. So yeah. All right. What else can we talk about? Let's see. Let's talk about what I've made out of this. Can you see how raggedy this magazine has become? I have made these. These are their carrot cake scones with a creme fraiche.
Who's they?
This is baked from scratch. And I have a ton of their, it's time to pull out all of the fall magazines, baking magazines that I have from them and from, I don't know if this is like sacrilegious to put them because they're technically competitors, but Sift, which they don't make them anymore, and it makes me so sad. And then all of the Bake from Scratch has tons of different kinds of, do I have any more up here? No, I keep this one out all year round because I make the things so often. Let's see, what else have I made? The carrot cake scones. Yes, they have a creme fraiche honey glaze on them. So it gives it kind of that little taste of like a cream cheese frosting. They're so good. I have not made the Gruyere prosciutto scones. See, now that's a savory scone. Should we just call it a biscuit and do them in circles instead of wedges? We can talk about the other ways you can shape scones. So I mostly do the wedges. You can roll them out and cut them if you want, like do the circle cuts and space them out. So I have seen some where they have like the fluted cutter that has like the little scalloped edge, and it makes the pretty scalloped edge to the scones. That's really nice. I think that's more British traditional. The wedges are of course very easy, and there's like a drop biscuit. You can do the same with scones where you just scoop like with an ice cream scoop and you plop it on and you just make basically a mound, and it'll come out like, it's not focusing of course because it's on the autofocus, but nice round scones.
Kendra's asking about.
Kendra, what about macarons in a future bake? No, I don't. I do not do macarons in Florida. Can't do it. I have tried macarons like 8-10 times, and 50% of the time they come out, more than 50% of the time they come out wrong. It's too humid. Yeah, Florida's just too humid. I mean, I can try it. You can tell I watched the latest episode of the Great British Baking Show. I want to be able to make macaroni. That's why I did it like 10 times, even though like 2 out of 3 times it seems maybe my memory is failing me, but I felt like were they edible? Yes, but they were not right. They were too chewy, or they had big air gaps. They just weren't right. And it's so frustrating to do all of that work for it to come out wrong, most of the time for it to come out wrong. And it's just because it's too humid in Florida that it messes with the egg white situation that's involved in. Yeah, so you pipe them out, or you can scoop them out with like a smaller ice cream scoop thing, like a tablespoon sized one or something, and then you bang them because you kind of want them to be flat. Hold on, let me see here. And yeah, then you leave them to sit to form all the surface of the macaron that is touching the air. You want that part to form a skin and to harden before you bake, because then what happens is the steam is then trapped inside, and the only place for it to go is it raises the top of the cookie up and it comes out the side, which makes those little bubbly, ruffly edges. That's where all the steam is escaping, because you've made that dry skin across the top. Now that probably has something to do with the humidity here, is not being able to get a good dry. Maybe if you leave them out longer. I could research it. Maybe that's what I should do, is I should try to research it, and we can try. But it's very difficult. And somebody asked me about it last week, and I was like, no, I don't do macarons anymore. I've tried too many times and had my heart broken. Okay. Oh, these smell really good. Let me just give it a little, I think they're a little, I don't think they're quite ready. Internal temperature, but I mushed kind of like, I pressed sort of the inside part, and it dipped in and kind of didn't bounce back, like it was still wet and kind of mushed together, as opposed to if it was cooked, it shouldn't do that. But we can look up the internal temperature of a scone. I think I'm going to say it's going to be like 205 Internal temperature, nope, I didn't type that correct in any way. Temperature of scones, 200 to 205. Yep. Usually any kind of like a cakey, quick bread, cake, a lot of stuff, if you get it to like 200, 205, you're good. I think bread is a little lower. I don't know. Some of them I haven't memorized, but I very rarely rely solely on memory. I tend to double check my math there.
I just know chicken is 165.
Chicken is 165, yes.
That one.
Heather's got that one locked in. It's in the old.
There's Hannibal.
Those scones look amazing already. Thank you. They smell really, really good.
They smell great.
They smell fantastic. I don't think the sage is going to be a problem. Oh, I was going to find that recipe where, not to disparage the recipe maker, it just was not for me. I did not care for it. Like strawberry basil scone, I haven't tried that one. Lemon ricotta poppy seed scones with poppy seed streusel. That sounds fantastic. Vanilla bean and cardamom scones with vanilla bean glaze. Is that what I was just... Wait a minute here. I have made the black pepper, cheddar, and pecan scones, which Heather won't eat because they are not the bacon, cheddar, green onion scones. This was it. Fig, walnut, goat cheese, and thyme scones with thyme glaze. And it was overwhelmingly thyme for me. Like that, it was too much. So the idea of like fig, walnut, goat cheese, yeah. But this sweet thyme glaze on top, I feel like do the fig, walnut, goat cheese, do an egg wash and sprinkle like a Maldon sea salt on top, if I said that correctly, so that the top has a little bit of a salt, which is what I do to the bacon, cheese, green onion scones, is do some of that really chunky, flaky sea salt on top, and that's good. I think this would be, yeah, I really feel like it was the glaze, the sweet, sugary thyme glaze on top that I just did not, that threw me off. I was looking at the wrong picture of the glaze earlier. Here's the correct picture of the recipe we're making, but I still do see the vanilla speckles in there, so we're good. Okay, let's see. Okay. We'll do a quick internal temperature test. We'll go towards the middle, because that's usually the last place to fully cook. I need a thermometer that goes faster. We're at 185 and climbing. He's slowing down a little bit. 190. And okay, I'm gonna put him back in for like 2 more minutes. And then that's when I say it is what it is, and we will move on. How's our glaze? Is it? Ooh, it's getting a little. The like crusty, sugary top layer. Smells so good. There is a. Do I have it here? No. I should take a picture of my wall of cookbooks over here. I took. I'll put it on the Instagram if anyone's interested. But I used the IKEA picture frame rails. They're like about this deep, and they just kind of float on the wall, and I have all my cookbooks and stuff facing like on the rails, leaning back against the wall and then facing out. So I have like this floor to ceiling wall of cookbooks. It's not enough space for all my cookbooks and magazines, so I have more in my office closet, and back there somewhere is a cookbook by Vivian Howard from Farm to Table. She's a chef. She had a show on PBS, and got her cookbook. She's got a tomato sandwich in there that she made a sweet potato bread, like a yeasted risen sweet potato bread, and made a tomato sandwich and made like this mayonnaise corn mixture. And I have been meaning to make that for Heather's face. What is that face? She did like she had one eyebrow up, but also kind of a smile. It was like
Well, what we can do is when I have tomatoes again.
Yeah.
Summer.
Okay. We'll try it.
We'll try some tomatoes.
And yeah, we just need some good fresh corn. I wonder if I should look at it. I wonder if all that cream corn I had that Hope and I put up last summer with Miss Claire in Georgia, if that would work for the. All right, let's check temperature again. La-di-da. 195, 197, I'm pretty sure we're good. 199, 201. Okay, we're good. Darn it, I did not wash the thing I need from when I think it's in the oven. I kind of wanted to get these off and get them onto the rack so that and they are splitting apart from where I had made the cuts. They are popping apart, they're not stuck together. Hello. Come on. Hold on, let me grab this better. I know what will work better. This guy. I say that, let's see if I'm right. These are pretty big, I will say that. I think you could make two smaller, it depends. I guess if this is like the main part of your meal or something, like a breakfast spread.
They're definitely too big for like a tea.
They're definitely too big for a tea. They're too big if it's meant to be like eaten with a variety of other things. So I feel like you could split and had I made this before, it's what I would have done, is do two separate discs, smaller discs, and maybe done them into 6 instead of 8s. And then you can have 12, so this split amongst 12 scones, probably be a little more reasonably sized than these bigger ones. But this will be a nice carb load before our walk, Heather. Okay, I'm gonna just touch every one of them though, if that's okay by you. All right. Do I want to drizzle this with this guy or with a fork? Let's go with this guy. Okay, all right, just my drizzles are inconsistent. Whoa! I lost a big chunk of. See? That's okay. Let's try with the fork and just see if that's better. Maybe a little bit better. A little more consistent.
I'm surprised you don't have a special tool for it.
I know. Well, I thought I'm like I could get a piping bag and put it in a piping bag and cut a little hole and blah blah blah, but I think I've taken enough time as it is already for this. Now I'm gonna have to look for a tool. You're talking to somebody who is still using a broken pastry brush that doesn't have a handle anymore. This thing. I'm still using this thing for, the handle fell off years ago. I have a really nice pastry brush. Hold on, I'll show you. This bad boy, I only use it on dry, like I won't use it on wet because I don't want to have to try to get all up in those bristles to clean like egg out of it. So I only use it when I make only use it when I make kouign-amanns and I need to get the excess flour off the dough. All right, Heather, we have more glaze, but I feel like let's do a couple of, I'm not gonna do it. I have glaze on my finger, I'm not gonna. Trying to see how do I get a good possible thumbnail image. Ooh. You know what I'm gonna do? Take a picture with my phone. Sorry. Quick couple of pictures with the phone. Hopefully one of these will work. All right, let's put one on a plate. Take a picture of that. It's not. Okay. Heather, did you want to try this with me? Did you want to come over here and try one of these? Yeah?
Well, no, I don't want to be on here.
No, you can just stand here to the side. Here, I'll just get us a couple forks. We can, your wok ready. Right, here we go. Ready?
Yes. I was going to take that bit.
You were going to take that corner?
Here, I'll take this one. Wow.
I have no problem with that sage.
That's really good. Me neither. I don't really even notice it, honestly.
It's very faint, the sage. I feel I can notice it, but it's not overwhelming like the thyme was on that other recipe.
I just got some sage.
I don't mind it at all.
It's
I
very
feel like
subtle.
it could, because I like things extra sweet, I would want some more glaze on mine.
Delicious.
That is really good. I like it a lot. I think it is either, it needs to be, it's still pretty moist. It's not as crumbly as you would expect a scone to be.
Yeah, it's nice.
I think I wouldn't put, what did we say that the cooked mashed sweet potato came out to 300?
500.
Well, pre-cooked it was 500.
Oh.
But after I got it out of the skin and put it in the bowl and mashed it, I think it was like, I'll go back and listen. It is amazing. They are very good. I think it was like 300 cooked and mashed grams. And I might back that off by like 25 grams the next time I do it. But just because it does feel very moist, almost to the point of like it's not cooked, but we know it's cooked as we check the internal temperature. It could maybe dry out. That is really good. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
I was prepared. I really was mentally prepared to not like the sage. It's because of my history with that thyme one. Okay, we're good. We're good to go. Let's get out of here. Thanks everybody for joining me today in the kitchen. If you make these, please comment and let me know how they came out. Maybe what amount of sweet potato you used. If you kept the sage in or not, if you trusted the sage process. Yeah, thanks for coming. If nothing else, comment hashtag weigh your ingredients in the comments section. It helps with the algorithm and gets the video out to more people, which is very helpful for me. And thanks for being here today. Get out there and enjoy your fall weather wherever you are. We're gonna go for a walk now in our Florida fall weather of 74 degrees. So exciting. And we will see you next week. Have a great rest of your weekend. Thanks for joining me in the kitchen. And oh, like the video. Make sure you like the video. Click like the video, okay? All right, thanks. Bye everybody.